White Sox&apos comeback in 8-3 win over Brewers. Chicago App. Tim Anderson's go-ahead triple drove in 2 runs as the Chicago White Sox scored 3 times in the 6th inning and went on to defeat the Milwaukee Brewers 8-3 on Friday night. The White Sox, who ended a 4-game losing streak, mounted the entire rally with 2 outs. After Jose Abreu singled and Daniel Palka walked, Anderson's liner dropped in front Christian Yelich, then got by the Brewers left fielder and rolled to the wall, allowing Abreu and Palka to score. Omar Narvaez followed with an RBI single. Yolmer Sanchez and Palka added RBI singles as Chicago tacked on 2 more runs in the 7th against reliever Dan Jennings to pull away. The White Sox, who entered with the worst record in the majors, rallied from an early 3-run deficit to post their 12th come-from-behind win. 5 White Sox relievers combined for 5 2/3 of hitless ball, with the second, Luis Avilan, 2-0, recording 1 out in the 6th to earn the win. Joakim Soria, Bruce Rondon and Nate Jones each followed with a hitless inning. Ryan Braun hit a 2-run homer for the Brewers, whose lead over the second-place Cubs in the NL Central dropped to 3 games. Anderson is 10 for 26 in his last 5 games with 4 homers, 10 RBIs and 7 runs scored. Brewers starter Chase Anderson, 4-4, allowed 4 runs and 5 hits through 5 2/3 innings in a second straight rough outing. White Sox starter Hector Santiago gave up 3 runs on 5 hits and 5 walks before being replaced by Chris Volstad with 1 out in the 4th and the game tied at 3. Volstad tossed 2 1/3 hitless innings. Braun homered to right center in the 1st with Yelich on first to put Milwaukee ahead 2-0. The Brewers extended their lead to 3-0 in the 3rd on Hernan Perez's sac fly to center. The White Sox tied it with 3 runs the bottom of the inning. Adam Engel led off with a double, then scored on Charlie Tilson's single. Tilson came home when Brewers' third baseman Travis Shaw threw wide after fielding Trace Thompson's grounder. Thompson advanced to second on the error and scored on Moncada's single. Welcome back White Sox reliever Danny Farquhar, who had a brain hemorrhage during a game on April 20, threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Joined by his teammates, family and medical caregivers on the infield, the Farquhar made a low and away toss to fellow reliever Jones as the crowd of 20,004 and the Brewers gave him in a standing ovation. It was the first time Farquhar threw a baseball since he suffered the ruptured aneurysm, underwent surgery and spent 18 days in the hospital. Farquhar won't pitch again this season, but has been cleared to start throwing. Roster moves Milwaukee recalled INF/of G-Man Choi was recalled from AAA Colorado Springs. Choi has had 2 previous stints this year with the Brewers, hitting .267 with a solo homer in 17 plate appearances. Milwaukee outrighted C-Jet Bandy to AAA after designating him for assignment last week. Trainer's Room Brewers, RH starter Zach Davis was placed on the 10-day disabled list with a right rotator cuff inflammation. The move is retroactive to May 30, when Davis allowed 5 runs over 5 innings in a 6-1 loss to St. Louis. Davis, who spent 3+ weeks on the DL in May for the same injury, is 2-5 with a 5.23 ERA after going a team-best 17-9 last year. Manager Craig Counsell expects Davis' return to the DL to be short. 1B Eric Thames, torn ligament in left thumb, took batting practice at the team's spring training facility in Phoenix on Friday for the first time since undergoing surgery on April 27. He could begin a rehab assignment next week. Up next Brewers are HP Julius Chasen, 3-1, 3.69, faces White Sox righty James Shields, 1-5, 4.54, on Saturday. Chasen allowed 5 runs in 6 1/3 innings against the Mets last Sunday in a no decision, but is 3-0 with a 2.90 ERA in his last 9 starts. Shields hasn't won through 11 starts since opening day at Kansas City. For more app baseball coverage, https://upnews.com/tag/mlbaseball